Williams' team invited reigning world motorcycle champion Michael Doohan to drive a Formula One car at the Catalunya circuit. He had already won 46 Grand Prix in 8 years and the world crown 4 times. With reigning World Rally champion Tommi Mäkinen also due to take a drive, it was motorsport's equivalent of the 3 tenors. With more than 3 times the horsepower and almost 5 times the weight, a Formula One car doesn't ride the razor's edge the way a 500 Grand Prix bike does, but it's more than a handful for all but the very best. And confronted by it for the first time, even a world champion can feel like a novice.
You know, that feels perfect. Yeah, breathing might be a bit, there you go, for a while.
Though Doohan and Villeneuve come from different branches of motorsport, they were united here by their high-speed professionalism.
Pulling back in. But, how are you? Yeah, not so bad.
Oh, congratulations on your last race.
Thanks very much. Good on you. Cheers.
Normally reticent in front of the press, Doohan prefers to let action speak for him on the racetrack. But this is different. A day at the track, which meant he could also have a day off from work.
There's a huge amount of things in here that the driver can change. You can scroll through all of these, and that's power steering. At the moment, it's set at level 6 because we're going to check the systems out.
Well, yeah, you're here to play, really, and you know, it's definitely nothing serious, and there's no long-term future in it for me. So just to have a drive was one thing that I'd always said to myself, before I stopped racing or when I stopped racing motorcycles, I'd really love to have a drive of an F1 car.
And that moment is now. When it arrived, Doohan drove very carefully out of the garage. He set off steadily down the pit lane, but cold tyres and the hair-trigger response of the V10 were waiting for him to fall into the trap which has caught out plenty of the top drivers over the years, sparing neither the experienced nor the illustrious from embarrassment. And Doohan spun the FW19 coming out of the 4th turn of his first lap. It was only a brief setback, and the only damage inflicted was a light tap on one wheel.
No, it's like pointing it straight and it just spun. Like, as soon as I gassed it, it just started to spin, and as soon as I got out of it, just kept going. And just tapped the wall with the left rear.
I was too apprehensive, he said later, and worrying too much about what the others expected of me. If I'd been more relaxed about the power, I probably wouldn't have spun. He went back to the pit lane to start again, and later did 8 more laps, the best of them 5 seconds quicker than his fastest race lap on his NSR in the previous year's Motorcycle Grand Prix.
The tyres are very cold because the pressures are actually dropping rather than coming up. That's why we've just put some more air in the front. All right, well, if you're happy, we'll go and do these last couple of laps and get you upstairs. All right.
When it was all over, Doohan said he'd been driving like he was going to the shop for a newspaper and some milk.
No, it's a lot of fun. It's hard to convince myself to go faster through a turn than what I'm used to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. As Frank Williams vetoed a return match with Villeneuve on Doohan's 500, World Rally champion Tommi Mäkinen took his seat in the FW19, also here to enjoy the sensation of Formula One power and speed.
Pure spinning, just hit the brakes, clutch until you stop. That's why you hit the wall. You didn't hit the brakes and you rolled, boom, the wall. You know, on a motorbike, when you fall, you just fly. You know?
Okay. Full brake and clutch.
It's brilliant. It's unbelievable. It's difficult to understand immediately what it is. It's so excellent. By acceleration and brakes, I could feel it. I think I braked still quite a lot too early after the main straight, but still you could really feel the brakes and then accelerate and grip everything.
Unbelievable, good feeling in the after the first straight and to the long ride. Bit
bit more, and I've got some feeling for the tires. And it was good feeling. And just forget this, because with the rally car, it's no question of that kind of problem. You can put the full throttle whenever you want.
On his opening lap, Mäkinen went 15 metres further than Doohan before he too fell victim to a predictable combination of cold tyres and premature acceleration out of the corner. However, he too went back to the task with the confidence of a champion. The pride had to come before a spectacular fall, and he spun again after missing a shift at 250 kilometres an hour. I made a stupid mistake, he said later. You can't go sideways, you have to follow the perfect line. Later on, Villeneuve demonstrated what it's like to be at home in the cockpit of a modern Formula One car. But for him too, this was just playing. He was due to return to work at the Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez, where he won last year's crown. But this season, that kind of success was proving elusive for the defending world champion.